Welcome back to Ithaca BJJ. Today we're taking a look at some advanced basics from a seminar hosted by Professor Marcos Fontes here at Ithaca BJJ. We'll be looking at back takes from closed guard, as well as cross collar chokes and a special judo bonus at the end. Let's get started. First, we're going to start here with attacking the back from closed guard. So first, Professor Fontes shows what's usually done. Usually we grab that arm, we push it to the side, and then it becomes a battle of strength. This is where most people fail, because the stronger guy will always win this exchange. See, when you pull on that arm, the opponent is just going to pull back up. The problem here is that Professor Marcos remains flat. Instead, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to bait our opponent. Now notice here, he's grabbing the arm so the opponent sees an attack coming. And when that happens, most people are going to do this. They're going to pull back. And we're going to use that momentum against them to get to their back. So what Professor Fontes does here is he raises up that hip, brings mat to the ground, and shrimps out. Now what most people will do, myself included, is they'll put this arm here to prevent this back take. At this point, we stop shrimping and we push away in order to break that grip. Here, let's take a look at the cross collar choke. This is what usually happens. We go for the choke, we go for the collar with a stiff arm, which makes it a lot easier for the grip to be broken. Notice here that Professor Marcos is flat. This makes it a lot easier for Professor Matt to break that grip. He just reaches up, pushes away and back, and the grip is pretty easily broken. Instead, we want to attack that arm and start heading towards the back. And when they go for your own collar to prevent the back take, we're going to wrap them up and then slip our hand in behind their neck. And because he's in a vulnerable position, we're going to hip out even further. This permits getting that second hand in to complete the grip configuration. Now what typically happens here is we start to pull. When you pull with your arms, the guy on top is just going to push off of you, and this is a case where the stronger person wins. We want to remove that advantage. We want to keep our arm nice and bent here, no stiff arms. We want to keep our hips out to the side. And then we're going to use this foot on the hip. And we're not going to push away, but we are going to raise our hips off the mat. And this is what sinks in the choke. It's very subtle, but very effective. Now what happens sometimes is they'll push off that arm, but in this case, they're just choking themselves. Remember, the key is the foot on the hip. Now, this is what a lot of people do. They're pulling with their arms. This is not going to get you the choke. You have to raise up your hips and look at how he's gripping his hands. He's describing a motorcycle, like you're revving up a motorcycle, and the choke is there on that wrist bone. You're not using your muscles. Again, notice the position of that first arm, and notice the position of his hips. He's not square with Professor Matt. He's off to the side. This gives him far more leverage. Now, something we notice a lot, oftentimes we go to get this grip by pulling on the collar what that does is that closes access. We can't really get our hands behind the neck. So instead, again, we're going to fake him out. We're going to make him think we're going in the other direction. Most people will do this right here. They're going to raise up and push you down, and that opens up the collar. At that point, you can slip your hand in behind the neck, shift your hips, and get this overhand grip on the trap, and then plant that foot on the hip and raise the hips up. Again, you're not pushing off the hip to shrimp out, you are raising your hips up. You see that stiff arm there? That's what's going to happen. We don't want a stiff arm, because this also happens. That's a common defense. No, instead, we're going to make him think we're going for a sweep. And as he's coming down, we're slipping that hand in behind his neck. And again, foot on the hip. And remember, watch this. Lift the hips off the ground. That sinks in the choke. Now in this angle, when they go to attack that arm, just shift your hips. Instead of fighting them, let them go for that arm, and as soon as they go for it, you shift your hips to the side, which allows you to slip in the second hand. And then again, look at that, foot on the hips. And he's telling us, muscles are for the gym, not for jiu-jitsu. And see that smile? He's smiling at me, the cameraman, because he's been telling me, Derek, stop using so much strength. So this is me and the bomber trying out this technique. You can't really see it well here, but I definitely feel the difference. The real key here, after he gets those hands in, is when he gets his foot on that hip and pushes off the hip. You see that? His hips are off the ground. I mean, the choke sets in immediately. Here it is with me. Now I'm raising my hips up. He raises back, and then I'm able to pull him down. There's the first hand in behind the neck. This one I have a little more trouble with because I have an injured thumb here, but you get the point. Now watch this. At no point am I pulling with my biceps. I'm just pushing off of my hips. And here's another angle to see it better. Again, having some difficulty because of the injured thumb. Now watch this. Pushing up with the hips. And there's the choke. And for the next part of the video, we're going to let Professor Fontes get into some details of judo grips.
And question, butterfly guard or half guard passing.
Favorite judo grips?
Huh?
Favorite judo grips?
Judo grip?
Favorite. Your favorite.
My favorite one? Stand up. Most important that the jiu-jitsu guys do, when you hold, they use the thumb, okay? When you use the thumb, all the arm gets stiff, okay? You're supposed to hold with no thumb, okay? Okay, if this is tight, this gotta be loose, all right? One thing. Now, when he holds me here, all right? When he pulls this, look, 1 and 2. Okay? So when he's holding here, look. If I pull back, pull, you're gonna pull, I'm gonna pull. Look, here we're gonna fight. Okay? So I do 1, look, 1 and 2. Jiu-jitsu people train with this position here because they don't want to be leg attacked, okay? So it's easy for me to go here. Okay, judo people, they stand up because they really want to change techniques standing up. Basic grip, I'm gonna keep like in his collarbone. So I can push and drive, all right? Push and drive. And then look, I'm bringing to me, I'm pushing. So here, and if I have on his shoulder, he's gonna try to, for a leg drag, look, I pull him away. All right? so I can control him. If I go higher, I can pull him down easier. But if he attacks my leg, he can do it. So just things you have to know and what you want to do, okay? So if my hand is here, I can drag him down more, but I gotta protect his leg, okay? If I have my hand on his collarbone here, I know he's gonna take down, I can control, all right? And I can move around and kind of control, because I know when he goes down, his shoulder needs to go down. Look, I blocked the takedown. The other hand, make a grip here. I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna make, look, but this thumb kind of, I don't use it, look. So. I'm trying to take the balance here, okay? And I pull the other way. All right, because I have this. My wrist is loose, look. All right, so if you make a grip on me, you have this grip here, here, or here, all right? Like after you get practice, I don't do this. It's useful, it is, but when you do this, he controls with you, all right? But people use a lot. Here, I just move. So I have something and he has nothing here, okay? So the first principle you have to do is like, make a grip, look inside, and let the thumb loose, all right? Takes a while until you get, but like, you want same thing. You want your wrist to be strong, but you want your arms to be loose. If I do this, I'm gonna wear out. And the strong guy is gonna win. All right, I want my wrist to be loose, to be strong, but loose. So I can pull and push, so I can get him unbalanced, break his balance. But the principle is this, not get stiff, all right? Because like, if you're going for wrestling, you want to throw him up and you go down, right? For gi. And if you know some judo, you wanna do this with him. So, or you wanna put him on his toes. He's always control on the collarbone. Oh yes, then you push and pull. All right, because here, if I start pushing him, yeah, he control, look, he pushes me away. All right, yeah, and if I pull him, he also comes inside, look, and try to push me again, okay? And we're gonna be fighting here. And breaking grips, one hand on the top. I have to keep my grip, all right? But you see that I'm never using whole strength. I'm always leaving my thumb loose. All right, so I can move around him. Go for this. My thumb is always loose, not holding, like punch. Always leave my thumb loose, okay? All right, got it?
Thank you.
Guys, great pleasure to be here. Jiu-Jitsu is this, you know? Meeting people from all over the place, just make a big family, big connection, you know? Whole world together in Jiu-Jitsu.
Etica BJJ, let's go.